Thanks for being here. This is our second session today in the Business Faith and Common Good Symposium. If you weren't here at the beginning, this is the 6th year that we've done this symposium. We typically bring in different entrepreneurs and business people for whom either faith or a pursuit of the common good motivates and sort of inspires what they do in business. The first session was more about how faith affects business. In this one, we're going to hear from two different people that have different perspectives on sort of alternate models of doing business. One is B-corps. You've probably heard of B-corps before in some of your classes. And we've got Justin Nabity that's here from Physicians Strive that's going to share about that. Then we'll hear from John, and I'll introduce him afterwards from the economy of community perspective. Justin has spoke at a lot of different universities around the country. He deals with physicians and with medical students, helping them to think through what their financial needs are and also some of the legal background issues that they maybe have unique to being a physician. So we're grateful for you being here, and thanks a lot.
What was this symposium when I was back in college, back in 2000, 2005? We never had anything like this. So I feel grateful. And, you know, even just listening to some of our speakers, like I'm going to walk out of here a better person than I was when I came in because of what you shared. So I thank you for what you shared. I use the sit on the pot and digest good material all the time. So I'm with you there, brother. So I'm Justin, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a husband, father, I'm a philanthropist, and I am recently have become a triathlete. Last weekend, I did my first half distance Ironman race, and so that was a fun experience in Minnesota. And so if you haven't plugged into something like that, I would say that it is worth the experience. So definitely check it out. If I look at my past experience and the pivotal moments of my life, it would have been in the same place that you are now. And that is not knowing what I was going to do or where I was going to go or what things were going to look like, but having a belief that there was something out there that I could pursue. And after college, got into business and got to a place where I was kind of stuck a little bit. Didn't really know what the future was going to hold. And so what I decided to do was just start praying, start going hard in prayer to the Lord to figure out what the path might be. And he answered with providing clarity around what we could do in terms of helping physicians. And so that's what started our Physicians Thrive business. Was we found that doctors are the people that you kind of think have things figured out. They should, right? Because they're super smart. They got through med school and their focus is on medicine, and they should be pretty much smart at everything else, right? Not so much. Not because they can, but because of time, right? And their focus. And so we found that they needed help being educated, but then on top of that, they needed an advocate to stand up for them because they have a target on their back. And so they're constantly fighting challenges with that. And so got the business going in 2009 and had it running for about 5 years, went through a lot of challenges. And it wasn't until we got crystal clear on what our core values were that everything would live or die based off of our core values that things began to change. And it was from this that I began to kind of start considering what could it be like to change how we operate and make everything that we do be about doing good, and the byproduct of that being beneficial to our company. And so I don't know if I can pull this up on here now. Yeah. So we stumbled onto this idea that we ended up finding out what B-corps are. B-corps have this idea that business can be used as a force for good. And we decided to kind of flip that topic around and present on this by actually going hard after something, going hard after something that we could adopt. And it was in 2007 that I had an encounter with one of my ancient friends, became a hero to me. His name is William Wilberforce. Does that name ring a bell for any of you? So in 2007, I watched a movie that was produced about his life in 2006, and it was about his lifetime effort to bring an end to slavery in Great Britain in the 1800s. He goes 20 years at it and almost gives up, goes to his mentor, John Newton. John Newton famous person. You probably know him better than you think you do. He's the one who wrote the song Amazing Grace. You think about that song, how powerful it is, and how many people that song touches now. And the words, I once was blind and now I see, I once was lost and now I'm found. He wrote those words, and he influenced Wilberforce to not give up the fight to end slavery. And so after 20 years, instead of throwing the towel, he decided to press into it even more and went another 20 years. And after 40 years of fighting this cause, they passed the legislation in 1833, and the law was set, and then he dies 3 days later. He fought a ton of health issues his entire life. He had so many battles that he faced. And so in 2007, the seed was planted in me that look at this individual who gave everything of himself. He wasn't Christ, he wasn't Jesus, he wasn't a God-man, but he was a physical person who believed so passionately about something that he could pursue, that he could make a difference with it. And so that was kind of one of those first triggers. And then that would kind of stay underground for a while. And it got to the point where we started looking at what are we going to do to incorporate that into the business? What could our business have to do with something like this? And one of our clients was an ophthalmologist. And you may not know this, but blindness is a massive problem, and it's not getting better. You actually will become blind in your life if you live long enough, without correction, without cataract surgery. The lens in your eye will eventually become opaque and cloudy, and you'll have to have somebody come in and cut your eye open, take the lens out, and put an artificial lens in. And one of our clients is an ophthalmologist, and he asked us to go on an outreach trip with him, and we got to go and find out that you can literally cure blindness within 10 minutes. A person can see 20/20 in many cases within 24 hours. And the cost to do it can be as little as $25. So if you're blind, what are you? You're a slave to darkness. You're a slave to being able to not have full ability, whether you're blind all the way or you have a vision impairment. And it was like, okay, we had this seed about living life fully like Wilberforce did. Now we have this revelation about blindness and how easy it is. And then we go to the Global Leadership Summit, where one of the executives of Walgreens talks about his journey presenting an idea to the leadership there, which was, let's do the 1-for-1 campaign. We have people come and get a shot, and we'll give a shot to somebody else. And that idea was born out of what Tom Shoes decided to do, which was you buy a pair and then you give a pair to someone else in need. And so we're sitting in the room and we're thinking, well, we're a financial services company. We don't have medication. We don't have immunizations. We don't sell products like shoes. Could we adopt something like this? Well, we now know that you can cure blindness for $25. Could we afford $25 per client engagement? Absolutely. And then it just took off. And so we decided we're going to start doing this as a company. And we then had a mentor who encouraged us that, what is your long-term goal with this going to be? Because we started to reorient our business to say, we want our goals to be defined around the number of people's lives that we change as a byproduct of the work that we do. Yes, we want to help our clients gain sight financially, because our physician clients, they don't have financial background. So they live life like this, right? They do. And so our job is we need to help them be able to see better. And so we do it every single day. And so while we help our clients gain sight financially, we're now in a position where we're giving sight globally through our nonprofit. And since we launched doing this, we've already helped over 3,000 people recover their sight. And we've established a big, hairy, audacious goal to essentially restore sight to 1 million people. And we're not able to do it alone. And so we decided to develop some technology for it. So you can actually pull up your phone right now, go to the App Store. You can download an app that simply by burning calories, you'll be able to cure blindness for somebody. The more calories you burn, the more people that are blind will gain vision. And so the way that we structured this was every time you burn 120 calories, that would raise $1. So we'll raise the money for you. We have, our company was the initial contributor. We have other companies with us donating. And so every time you work out and once you burn 3,000 calories, that's enough to restore sight to somebody, because that's enough to raise $25. And so if you're not active health-wise now, this is a call to action for you to get plugged in. If you are already doing that, don't let your calories that you're burning go to waste, right? Put them to work. You literally can change someone's life just by investing in you. And that's one of the things that Reed and I have really discovered that we're going to focus is that it all starts with your faith. Until you have faith, until Jesus gives you vision, you're blind. That's why the song says, I once was blind and now I see, I once was lost. Now you are lost. I was lost until I got to John 3 and found that when Nicodemus was talking with Jesus, he was asking Jesus some questions. And Jesus says that you have to be born again. You have to be born of the Spirit. You cannot just be born once of the flesh. You have to be born of the Spirit. And it's not through the family you come from. It's not through the church you go to. And it's not through good works and things like that. It's literally you have to respond and be born again. And so it all starts with faith. And once you get your faith figured out, now you have what we'll call a spiritual GPS. It allows you to see things that you couldn't see before. And that gives you the ability to now approach life differently. And you literally have the wisdom of God that can begin to start reorienting your life. And so it takes some serious effort and focus to focus on you and how to understand who you are, who God made you to be. And then from that, as you grow, you'll have more capacity to be able to give to others. And so that's what we launched as a way for us to get the word out about this. And it's been amazing. We just got back from Trinidad and Tobago not too long ago. We've been to Tanzania. We've been to the Indian reservation in Navajo Nation out there. And so we were doing all this work. And then I was on a mystery trip with some CEOs. And
what's a mystery trip?
A mystery trip is where you say yes to going someplace. You don't know where you're going. You give them your passport. And they sign you up for everything. And you show up at the airport with a carry-on. That's it, one carry-on. And they tell you how to pack. And then you just go. And in this case, this one was to Costa Rica. And we're with the leaders of Firespring. You guys might know Firespring. And the founders, we were hanging out at the pool one day, and they were talking to us about, hey, are you guys a B-corp? You know what a B-corp is? And I'm a certified financial planner and investment advisor, and we work in the industry of LLCs and C corps and S corps and different formations because that's important to business. He's saying B corp. I'm like, what in the world are you talking about? Like, there's no such thing as a B corp. And he begins to explain it to us, and we're sharing what we care about, what our heart mission is, and it's like they say, yeah, you're absolutely a B corp. And so, like, yeah, you can contact B Labs, and they'll take you through a process where you can apply for the Certified B Corporation distinction, and it's a big undertaking. There's 200 questions that you have to go through, and I'm looking at everything like how do you treat your people, how do you make decisions, how do you impact the community, and all those factors. And so you go through this rigorous process to get verified by a third party to see if you meet the criteria of being a socially and environmentally responsible organization. And so that was brand new. When did we get that, Reed? Was that last year?
Yep.
We just got it.
Yep.
There's like only a handful of these in Nebraska. And it's really the new way of business. The idea that business is just about the stakeholders, the shareholders, and about profit. When you think about where you are today and things that you care about, it's about much more than that today. And business is going to continue on if it starts to shift in the direction and care about these things more. And so that's why we decided in our company, and part of the reason why we got the B Corp, the Certified B Corp approval was because we have a mind, body, soul program in our company, which is where every time you work out, every time you invest in your spiritual health, every time you invest in your mental health, you get paid. And so it works off of like 10-minute intervals. You earn $1 for every 10 minutes. And we have a process where you come and you say, here's what I'm going to do. And then you come back in and say, here's what I did. And then there's evidence of that work that was done, and then you get awarded for that credit. And so we found that as we invest in our people and help them become the best that they can be and understand and discover themselves, that they have a better experience. They're able to find more fulfillment, more joy, more value in what they're doing. And the whole environment in the office changes as a result of that culture. And so when I was in your shoes at this stage, I had no idea that we'd be in a situation where we're speaking all across the country now about stuff like this. And that we go from helping clients nationwide with our company to now we're changing people's lives on the entire planet. And it's possible for you to do it too. And so this presentation, actually, I just gave one 2-hour deal in Canada. And we went through a workshop and actually explained how you can develop a plan like this for yourself. And so if this is something that resonates with you, come talk to us, because we can help you figure out how to apply an idea where you go into adopting something like blindness and making it be the driver, the energy behind what you're doing. And you can apply that to your workplace or your self-employment, or maybe the business that you want to start. So with that, maybe I'll turn it over to take over.
Okay. Great.